And back now with our exclusive conversation with Richard Fisher, Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas president. By the way, I just want to get a clear answer from you. Are we going to see a rate hike this year?
I would expect that you will see a hike sometime this year. How's that for absolute accuracy?
That's all right. That's better than a lot of people, but let me try to be more specific. Would it be at the June or sometime in the summer meetings?
I won't be there. It's up to the committee. I have advocated that we should have moved in March in anticipation of what I see coming to the economy. I've lost that argument. So, look, I'm very sensitive to their sensitivity, which is they don't want to push the economy back having made this recovery. So it's a judgment call. I think the economy has recovered sufficiently. The pressures are beginning to build. I use a naval analogy. You don't stop a ship by putting down the brakes. You slow miles ahead of time.
Right.
And so there is a lag in monetary policy. We don't know how long the lag is.
You said you think it's going to happen sometime this year, which is
right.
more specific than a lot of people. All right.
That's just my opinion.
Understood. A lot of your fans were disappointed at what you said about the Federal Reserve audit that's suggested, which is getting a lot of traction in Congress. I think you saw that it's pretty much a veto-proof majority now in Congress, and with the new Senate will likely to pass. Right. But you said, who in their right mind would want Congress to control monetary policy? To which a lot of people say, look, here is the Constitution. Within the Constitution, Article 1 of the Constitution, Section 8, it says the Congress has that right. So what do you say about that? It's right in the Constitution itself.
You know, one of Bismarck, the Iron Chancellor's famous conversations with his advisor, a man named Blockreiter. And Blockreiter said, you know, Mr. Chancellor, when you create the Reichsbank, if you don't make them independent, they might become a political nuisance. Well, guess what happened? The Weimar Republic. What happened in the 1970s, early 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s in the United States? No one ever says Arthur Burns did what was politically convenient. We ended up with super inflation that Paul Volcker had to step in and break its back. We know what the answer is. This is because the people on Capitol Hill, lower house, upper house, for whatever reasons, cannot do their own job.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem, and I'm sorry we're short on time, so I got to jump in. Rand Paul and others would say, as we just talked about in the first segment, we are now in an extraordinary period where the Fed has more of a portfolio than ever before, and we have to know specifically what's in there. I'm going to quote him now. He said, once upon a time, your dollar was as good as gold. Do you know what it's backed by now? He asked an audience in Iowa. Used car loans, bad home loans, distressed assets and derivatives. Now, he may be wrong about that being in your portfolio, the Federal Reserve, but we don't know if he's right or wrong because we haven't had a specific audit of the Fed.
I don't believe that. I'll be blunt. We are audited out the wazoo, okay? Every Federal Reserve Bank has a private auditor. We have our audit of the system. We have our own inspector general. We are audited. That's not what he's talking about. What he's talking about is politicizing monetary policy. And who else puts their balance sheet out on the net? No corporation in America does that. We do that. We put our income statement out on the net. We are a porous, visible entity. That's not what this is about, David. This is about interfering with the making of monetary policy. I respect the gentleman from Kentucky, but he's wrong. Okay, very quickly, because we're almost out of time, but I got to give you time to tell us what you are going to be doing next. You're running for president, going to make money. I'm going to run away, I think is what I'm going to do.
What are you up to?
The one thing I am devoted to is financial literacy. We have a product at the Dallas Fed, the most popular product in the entire Federal Reserve System. You never heard of it. Building wealth. It's used in the school system on military bases, Dade County School, the Alabama school system, the Utah school system. Financial literacy, and that's one of my causes. I want to take the color out of money. I want to make sure, for example, in my community of South Dallas, the poorest part of North Texas, working with the mayor of Dallas to make sure that we raise them up to prosperity. And the best way to do it is to start with financial literacy. We at the Dallas Fed have something called Building Wealth. We made it interactive on the computer. We worked with one of the great entertainment companies, pro bono in Hollywood, to make it interesting. I want that to be my legacy, not my views on monetary policy. I want to contribute something positive to society.
Be a great legacy. Richard Fisher, from now until March 19th, the president of the Dallas Fed.
The last few weeks.
It was great to know you as Fed president.
I appreciate it.
We should come back. Liz?